Don't know what to do. Haven't decided. Ano ba to? Yeah, this is good.
You are not welcome here.
Animal hypostasis emulation. Absorption test. Now let's see.
Wind blade.
Yeah. I'm getting sick of this. Judgment. Calm down. Don't wait. You can't run. Shiver. Absorption test.
Testing my patience.
Enhanced animal module 7. Don't be nervous. Just relax. Animal test 6308. Absorption test.
With the wind.
Judgment. Animal test 6308.
Damn. I really keep on looking at them because I want one. I honestly want one. So I keep on looking at them.
You are not welcome
Well, you
here.
can't run. Stand clear. Swirl. Mark 2. Light. Hold still.
Disappear!
Absorption test.
And I bought it for about 200 pounds.
Yeah. Let's see.
Something around that. It's a little bit more expensive now, but I think it's
I'm getting sick of this game.
Wind blade!
as you can see, the gun price is probably
Animal hypostasis.
My patience.
which is in Japanese, but it's got nice pictures, so you can work out what's going on. Pretty small manual, but it's fine nonetheless.
Stand clear. Judgment.
And they are quite easy because they are TM polymers.
You can't run.
The logo is nice. It's one of the 100 round,
Animal test,
one of the
63.
highest loaders. Just put the pieces in there. Comes into the magazine.
Let's see.
Which is great
Stand
for
clear.
ladies supplied low cap with the company. That's nice for you. Get the gun as well as your cleaning and jamming rod, but very rarely you're going to need that. Alright, so first thing I should say is that you can see this rail on the bottom of the gun here, something that the SIG series by TM comes. Now this I don't particularly like, so I removed that. It simply attaches with these little screws that, well, not little, they're quite big actually. These screws that go through the handguard, and there you can see the rail. It's a plastic 20mm rail, which is
I like plastic.
fine for fitting accessories. To begin with, I had this attached to it, which is a
You are not welcome here!
Swirl. Mark 2. Animal test 6308.
Have that there, which is just the right size. Looks pretty good on there.
With the wind!
But I don't have that now, so I'll get rid of that. Take this down a little bit, get the box out of the way, and begin with the review.
Absorption test.
Animal
hypostasis
to get the stock out.
Testing my patience.
You can't. Yeah. Light out.
And it's pretty solid. Not much movement to that
Wind blade!
place.
Animal
The
test.
rather
I need to make
20 round low cap. Sorry, the real one's 20 round. This airsoft magazine is a 40 round low cap. You can see there's both of these big 5.6 rounds inside.
You can't run.
Quite nice feature. It does come with a locking nuts inside. If you buy another one like I did, and that together, although since I bought these, I dropped them whilst they were attached, and some of these lugs have split, so then. So yeah, you get one with the gun, 40 rounds, and the B5, only go up 25 rounds, otherwise it's slightly jammed.
Judgment.
But that's fine. If you know how they fit into the gun, it's similar to an AK or a G3 kind of style. You put the front in first, you hook the front in. So if I put that in, hard to do it whilst looking through the camera, and then you roll it back and it'll click in. Really easy to do once you get the hang of it. I can do it pretty quickly now. Speaking of magazines, these are the standard low capacity magazines, as I said. Now TM also offers for the skirmishers out there that prefer some more firepower, these, which are 220 round high capacity wind up magazines. They are translucent, which means you can see the inside.
Animal test 6308.
Winding wheel on the
Mark
bottom.
2.
These are
Absorption test.
220 rounds, so it's kind of the equivalent of an MP5. Not too bad.
Disappear!
It's alright. They feed perfectly, and again,
might
don't put the
feel
lights
a
on the
little
side, so if you like, well, you can
Wind blade!
simply
Yeah.
click the
Animal test 6308. You can't run.
one of them obviously
I'm
hangs
getting
inside.
sick of this game.
And
Enhanced animal module 75. Absorption test.
and they're very good magazines. I did actually have a look around for something with a bit more firepower. I found that the ICX is a signature that holds 400.
I see how it is.
Quite expensive, so I got one that just jinked on 330 rounds.
Wind blade.
Which is
Animal
one
test
Meat.
that much longer because it replicates the real life 30 round hit, so there's plenty of it, and it fits perfectly and feeds very well actually. It's not translucent, it's matte black, but it gives us up quite nice looks.
You can't run.
I'll be in this 30 rounder in the go over some of the features of this rifle now. If we start at the back, you can see the polymer buttstock, which is a really nice stock, I think. It's really lightweight because of the cutout in it. It's got a sling hoop there, which I don't use personally. It's got a little piece here that clicks into the body of the gun. And you've got a rubberized pad on the back, which gets into your shoulder really nicely. And I find that a really comfortable pad on the back there. It's quite responsive. Yeah, it's definitely a nice trigger on this. Obviously it's an AEG, so there's only a certain amount of trigger feel that you can really get, but it's a pretty good trigger for what it is. Don't really have anything to put on them, to be honest. I'm a bit cheap, and I prefer the original look of this. If I show you how to remove the handguard, there's a button here, which is connected to the pin on the other side. Press that, pull out the pin. It's a pin that won't fall out on its own because it's got a retention system. And then, lower part of the handguard slide towards you, and the top can be lifted off, which is just a thin plastic shell. Now, originally when it's
awesome.
it'll have a plastic cover that sits inside here to hold the battery. It's fine if you're using a low mAh TM battery, which is really thin. If you're using a standard 8.4, such as this 01 branded 8.4 volts 1600 milliamp, it will not take
You are not
Animal hypostasis. Contact.
and then you can take out the battery.
Lights
Structural integrity at all, it's fine.
Stand clear.
You'll see the miniature,
Don't be nervous. I'm just relaxed.
this is the brass barrel running through. Now if I
with the wind.
slide it forward, down, up, you can see the fuse that sits underneath.
You can't
And
run.
note that this whole unit, from here onwards, all of that front block is still metal. It's as well. When it says steel, it's certainly nice out.
Swirl. Mark 2.
You're testing my patience.
This cross here is from the charging handle. That allows you to slide off a rail, a top rail, and squeeze it to the other side, which gives you a nice
Judgment.
real
Punishment.
estate for a scope. All on the top, and that's separate from the
Wind blade. Disappear.
moving up on the front to the
Animal
barrel,
testing
which goes
308.
into this vent tank. This includes the gas regulator, which doesn't do anything, but can be a gas regulator. It comes with this bottom piece. I assume it's for a bayonet or something. Here we've got the front sling hoop, which I don't use personally, but that's there if you want it, which is still metal. And then you've got the muzzle, which comes with a SIG style flash hider, as well as, if I unscrew it, a standard for airsoft 14mm counterclockwise thread to attach your choice of suppressor, compensator, or any other kind of flash hider.
You are not welcome
Absorption
here.
test.
So you need
Stand clear. Animal hypostasis emulate.
It's a simple fitted post such as an HK one. But unlike this, it also comes with this flip up side that I painted
Lights
as you can
out.
see there, for easy target activity. So right now, if you look at the front sight, it's quite hard to see against this background. It's a little woodland environment, so if I look up this, it's easy to see that white dot line up the brick. It's a really nice side
Swirl.
strike.
Mark 2.
Assemble the weapon
Judgment.
and go with this class. Part of my review
Wind blade.
assault rifle. I'm going to try and get the battery in whilst it's on camera. Now, it's a really tricky task, I've got to admit. It's not like
Absorption test.
any other gun sliding into the stock or whatever. This is really really easy to get it. Right, so I've got the top cover removed. You can have the bottom plate on, but you take off the top cover and attach the connectors. Now the trick with this is to get the front pressed up against that front gas block, and then squeeze it inside. Now it's got to be at an angle. For the front sight, for the handguard to get in, this has got to be at an angle. Then you push in all your wiring. Now I'm going to attempt to get this handguard on. I'm not expecting this to work first time.
You are not welcome here.
Stand clear. Animal test 6308.
This is
With the
an
wind!
impossible task.
Calm down. Animal hyperstasis.
Especially if you're using a battery or anything. It's going to be like really hard. There you go. Now that's on. Slide the lower handguard forward. This is an 8.4 volt battery, as I said, so I wasn't expecting a huge rate of fire, but it's got really good triggers. If I click it to 7,
Punishment. Absorption test.
Disappear!
switch it fully.
6308.
For a stock weapon,
Enhanced animal module. You can't run.
really nice rate of fire. I think it's got EG 1000 or EG 100, I'm not sure. It's got quite a good motor in it, really. And it's shooting really smooth, very smooth gearbox.
Judgment.
Here. Really nice trigger as well. It's really pleasure to use in the field. Especially if you're doing CQB semi-automatic only. You can get shots off really quickly with this good motor and gearbox setup. Right now it's totally stock, which means on a .20 gram BB, it's only shooting at around 270 FPS. I have actually used this in Woodland a number of times, and despite its lowish FPS, it's been great. It's got an excellent hop-up unit, so it's performed just as well as any other assault rifle. I think if you're a CQB player and if you use a semi-automatic weapon only, or even a fully automatic weapon at CQB, this is perfect. The accuracy, despite the shortish barrel, is excellent. You've got a great rate of fire, and the FPS doesn't really matter too much. Maybe if you're living in the US and FPS is a bit more important to you, you might want to get an ICS or a G&G and take it up to 400 or whatever. But here in the UK especially, or for a CQB player, this is a perfect gun. I can't really recommend it more. It's definitely withstood the test of time, owning this for over a year. And I'm still impressed every time I take this out to use. Thank you for watching. I'll be having some more reviews up soon of my other guns. I've got 2 more assault rifles to review. Depending on my money situation, I should have some more handguns as well. Thank you for watching. Check out my other videos. Thanks.
Stand clear.
Wind blade!
Animal hyperstasis and
Is that all you've got?
Don't slip and fall.
Now you're testing my patience.
Calm down. Judgment. Absorption test. Stand clear. Don't break my glasses.
Let's end this now!
You can't run.
Disappear! Is that all you've got?
Animal test 6308.
Let's end
Yeah.
this now! We'll meet.
I am sorry, I haven't been looking at the live chat. If anyone's there, I'm so sorry.
Let's end.
Yeah.
Okay, no one's there though.
Inside is a high-quality full metal gearbox, nylon polymer plastic, which is a high PS with 0.20 gram BBs. This guy is an AEG shooting at 335. Starting H&K UMP 45. Starting off, this guy is an AEG shooting at 330 to 340 FPS with 0.20 gram BBs. It is constructed of a nylon polymer plastic, which is a highly durable plastic. Inside is a high-quality full metal gearbox. Now to some of the exterior features, it comes with super cool, in my opinion, a working foldable stock. 4 full metal Picatinny rails you can mount optics, lasers, clips, anything you'd like. And it has a fixed rear sight with windage adjustability and then a fixed front sight. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this airsoft content, make sure to like and subscribe. Included in the box is a 400 round high capacity magazine. The way this guy works is you pop this door open in the top,
Now you're testing
pour
my
in some
patience.
BBs, close the door, and then wind the wheel. Next you're going to insert the magazine, not backwards of course, and then you're good to go. One of the other features on this guy is a fully adjustable hop-up, so the way you use that, just going to take your finger, you're going to pull back this dust cover right there, which will expose the hop-up wheel that you can adjust up and down to your preferred hop settings. Once you're done, just release it and you're good to go. To install this battery, all you're going to do is fold the foldable stock, pull down on this little trap door right here, which will expose the Tamiya wires.
Absorption test.
You will then connect the wires together, hide them, close the trap door, and then you can open back your folding stock. This rifle is available in a basic and complete starter kit. The basic kit is going to include a battery, your charger, and then a bottle of BBs. If you
So, I guess that's it, no? Talking about the features. Meow meow meow.
You are not welcome here.
Swirl, Mark 2. Stand clear. Absorption. Now I'm mad. He might feel a little prick. Yeah.
Is that all you've got?
Judgment. Stand clear. I'm getting sick of it. Hold still. Don't run away. Enhanced animal module 75.
Now you're testing my patience.
Let's see. Animal test 6308.
Let's end this now. Disappear.
You can't run. Absorb. Yeah. Shimmer. Animal test 60. Swirl, Mark 2.
Meet again.
You can't run. Stand clear.
Reshape. Forty-two. Ano ba to? Ano? Def. Maybe next time, no? $34. It's the max. Kaya naman.
Humidity levels are increasing. Think we can run some tests? Judgment! You can't run!
Yeah. Wind blade.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Wibbly wobbly!
Fine.
Yeah! Enhanced animal module 75. Stand clear. Yeah. Ha. Ta, 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 ha. Ha, ta, ta. You can't run!
Harden up.
Judgment! Ha. Yeah.
The loneliness of death.
0 HP lang. Lol. That's pretty funny. That's nice. Sakto, 45. That's very nice. That was nice.
Don't we have a job to do?
I am Jean, the Dandelion Knight, requesting approval to join your party. From this day onwards, my honor and loyalty...
Man. So, what can Jean do? No, I just want a plain UMB. Plain one UMB. I don't want the fancy stuff.
In the name of the Gunhilder clan.
New Sarsaya Bulgogi Sauce. 3 steps lang, may legit sarap na ng Korean bulgogi.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my complete and updated Jean guide. Jean is a 5-star Anemo support who's been on the standard banner since Genshin first released. While she's always been a strong and versatile healer, she now got a lot better with the release of Farina, actually making a lot of teams want a really powerful burst healer like Jean actually is. Because of that, in today's video, we're gonna be talking about this, talking about how Jean got better, her strengths, different playstyles, and also covering in detail how to build her, talking about the best artifacts, weapons, teams, constellations, and so much more in one detailed video. Before we begin though, as always, I want you guys to know that I do stream most nights on Twitch, link in the description if you're interested. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so starting things off, let's talk about what Jean actually does, her different playstyles, and how to get the most out of her kit. We're also going to cover why she's more meta and stuff in the next section, but first let's cover the basics. So Jean, if you don't know, serves the main role of being an Anemo healer. The way she does this is through a few different ways, but primarily her elemental burst. Her elemental burst, I guess it'll be the first thing we talk about. Dandelion Breeze, or Dandelion Breeze, which is the incorrect way of saying it, but it sounds funny, is a burst that'll have a pretty decent first hit of damage, having a relatively high scaling, and then afterwards will instantly heal all of your party members a large amount of HP, scaling on Jean's attack. This healing that you get from your burst is genuinely a big amount. If your party members are low HP, half HP, or you've taken damage on literally anyone, you can swap your Jean, press your burst, and they'll basically instantly be full healed, assuming you're building your Jean optimally. If that wasn't enough, it will also create a field on the ground that will constantly heal your active party member as long as they stay inside of the field. While her burst healing is the main form of healing that Jean has, the field giving you a bit more as you're fighting for whichever character you're on is a nice bonus that definitely shouldn't be ignored. If that wasn't enough though, the Dandelion field will also constantly be dealing Anemo damage to opponents inside of the field while also imbuing your active character with Anemo. This Anemo or Anemo infusion is actually huge because how it works is you'll basically constantly be applying Anemo to your active character, which will proc the swirl reaction if they already are affected by another element. In practice, what this can do is act as a cleanse. So Jean can be a healer but also a cleanser, removing some debuffs that could be annoying, like the Hydro debuff that you'll get against certain enemies that will make your cooldowns last for 5 years. What it can also enable though is a unique playstyle that we'll cover in a bit, where you can constantly swirl an element being applied to you intentionally, like the Pyro from Bennett's Burst or even Hydro from Barbara. What this can do is allow your Jean to swirl all the enemies inside of the field and actually do quite a bit of damage from her own burst. Generally though, this burst is mainly used for just a hit of damage, some anemo application or swirls, and also a big chunk of healing to all of your party members. Another thing you need to know about this burst is that it has a 20-second cooldown with an 80 energy cost, but this 80 energy cost is actually 64 when you factor in her Ascension 4 passive, which will give you 20% of its energy back instantly, which is the equivalent of 16 energy. So you only need 64 energy to get your burst back, which obviously helps a lot. With her burst out of the way though, let's talk about the rest of her kit. First of all, her elemental skill can be pressed or held. Typically you'll just press it, it'll do a bit of anemo damage, knock the enemies back, give you 2 or 3 anemo particles, have a pretty low cooldown, and also decent damage. Generally, you're just gonna tap this ability and not think too much of it, get some energy from it, and proc the swirl reaction, and that's about it. With that said, you can also hold this ability for a very unique effect, where you can sort of suck enemies into you and launch them in the air. While this doesn't work against all enemies, like you can't displace boss enemies or enemies that are too heavy, against a lot of enemies, like even some elites that can be difficult and that can be in certain abyss rotations, you can abuse fall damage to deal a lot of damage to them by holding her charge attack, launching them in the air, and then as you'll see when they fall down, they'll take a big chunk of damage. This is also something that can be done with Jean's charge attacks, and you can also combine the two together, using her charge attacks to like set up for her hold skill, and then use fall damage to sort of cheese your way through content that you might not otherwise be able to clear. Generally speaking though, this is a more niche thing that Jean mains should know, and that's pretty cool, but you're typically just gonna be tapping your skill and then using your burst, and then not thinking too much about the rest. Jean also comes with another passive that'll give her normal attacks a chance to heal all of your party members, which is nice for on-field Jean, and well, I know a lot of Jean mains want to just whack enemies. I'm looking at you, Tuano. Generally, you're not going to be playing your Jean on field, and will mostly be swapping out of her after using her abilities. For your talent priority, do prioritize your burst, as leveling this will give you more healing and also more damage, and then leveling your skill afterwards is typically the way to go. If you don't need more healing and just want to focus on her personal damage, if you're spamming your skill off cooldown, then leveling your skill can actually be more DPS, so keep that in mind. Also, a few additional things I want to mention before moving on are that
Man, I love Yelan. She's literally me.
if you want to displace enemies through your hold skill and even your charge attack, but generally just like sucking up enemies and displacing them is something that you can really only do where that'll be at its max efficiency when you're within 20 levels of enemies. This means that your Gene needs to be at least level 70 to displace level 90 enemies or level 80 for level 100 enemies in order to efficiently displace them. Additionally, if you plan on swirling on your Gene, then leveling her all the way to 90 is important, as swirl is a transformative reaction that will scale on your level and also your elemental mastery. And rest assured that while my Gene is level...
Wait, the person drinking tea over there. Isn't that Yelan?
That's me.
Oh, looks like she's having some kind of tea party with friends. We're just in time. Aren't we gonna go say hi?
Well, Officer Edler, after all that work, I think we've got them this time. Might take a few days to wrap up things in the field. In the meantime, I think you've earned yourself a break.
Much appreciated, Miss Yelan. This case really took it out of me. 13 strongholds. One thieving weasel after another. We rounded up so many people, you almost start to hope a few were innocent, just to balance it out. I'm just glad we finally took down these crooks. Anyway, I'm gonna drop in on that old classmate of mine in Chaoying Village and reminisce about old times.
Excuse me.
Don't forget to take some tea and dim sum back to your friends at the Maison Gardiennage.
What you gonna do?
Oh, looks like Yelan's friend left.
Ah, another pleasant surprise. Excuse me, a pot of your finest Yunlai white tea if you would. And 2 more place settings. Now, judging by that expression, I assume you came over to ask about the 2 spies that were just watching us.
Ah! Spies? What spies? There were spies around here just now?
Oh, more than that, I'm sure. I bet they already...
Oh, so you're tracking down some criminals? got some...
Well, those tend to be the kinds of cases that cross my desk. If I could leave it to someone else, I would. I could have been on vacation right now. Mora laundering, to the tune of 10 figures and counting.
Laundry? What does that have to do with Mora? And who are these figures? They're a temp...
In layman's terms, a certain merchant in Fontaine possesses a large amount of... So you cover your tracks, create a front to avoid detection, and what do you know? Your illegal Mora now looks completely legit. And this merchant's front of choice? Fine art and antique auctioneering. He buys goods from all over Tevat, brings them back to Fontaine, and rebrands them as pieces of fine art, driving up their price in the process. Then, when the items go to auction, he buys them up at their inflated price with his own illicit funds. And through this exchange, the proceeds he receives in return are clean. This process allows him to legitimize his illicit wealth. He even launders Mora for other criminals as well. That's to be expected, I suppose. In Chenyu Vale, you can get Liyue goods being used in illicit underground schemes poses a real threat to our trade standing in the long run. So, instead of getting to enjoy my long-awaited vacation in Fontaine, it's back to work for me.
Okay. Paimon thinks she gets it now. It's like moving Mora from one hand to the other. In other words, just disguising where it originally came from. But if you know what this merchant is up to, shouldn't it be pretty easy to catch him? You go to the auction, wait for him to appear, then nab him right as he goes to purchase his expensive piece of Liyue art.
Not a bad plan, Paimon. But there are too many loose ends. If you were the mastermind behind this whole scheme, would you really expose yourself as the face of the operation?
Oh, yeah. No, wait! Even if Paimon turned bad, the Traveler would never... Paimon would need, like, a group of minions or something. Oh, Paimon gets it now. Even if you track down the goods, if this dark financier guy isn't the one doing the buying at the auction, you won't catch him.
It's not just a matter of who's at the auction. You also have to source the goods, transport them back to Fontaine, get them to the auction house, none of which are tasks he performs himself. He has a whole crew to hide behind. Tracking down the goods is already complicated enough. They change hands so many times, the trail is almost impossible to follow. So the most logical course of action is to play the long game. You start small. You find someone you can follow behind all the smoke screens, who'll lead you straight back to the dark financier
Wait! So you were just pretending? And to think, Paimon thought all that stuff about wrapping up the case and taking a break was actually true!
Right you are, Traveler. Working with the Millilith and Officer Edler, we managed to launch attacks on all of the Dark Financier's strongholds, which allowed us... Those spies just now were his most important agents. The two people he trusts to have direct contact with him. The first is Corday, a senior member of the Fontaine Antique. They're under pressure to sell. They think keeping tabs on but little do they know, while their attention's fixed on her, I'll be secretly So, interested in coming along? I'm curious how you take to this line of work.
We kind of stumbled into this whole thing, but now we're apart.
I admire your... Let me be... Getting started is always the hardest part, but the Dark Finance... And I think I know...
Wow. She's awesome. No, that's very awesome. Oh, I forgot. You know what? I wanna grind my World of Tanks. Whatever, man. Meow. What's that? That lung. Lung.
Counter-terrorists win.
Look, as long as we leave here with the cash, I don't bloody care what happens, okay? Smoking.
See, I'm really longing. Maybe that's a hack.
Counter-terrorists win.
Apple. It's actually raining. GG. Meow meow.
We will make the repair today. Throw in a decoy.
Meow meow. Meow meow.
Counter-terrorists win. Let's go. Decoys out. I'm throwing smoke. I'm throwing a grenade. Throwing fire. Counter-terrorists win.
I can't believe I'm top rank.
Let's go. This is what we have been working for. Let's go. Throw in a decoy. Terrorists win to beauty. I'll stay here. Go, go, go.
Wow, we won one round.
I'm throwing flashbang. I'm throwing a grenade. Throw in fire. Get ready, folks.
It's only 3D print. 3D printed.
We are Oscar Mike. Throwing fire.
And lightweight front assembly. Meow meow.
Throwing grenade. Incendiary out. Decoy.
One long.
Counter-terrorists win.
Good job, son. Meow meow. I think I'm too good.
What are we doing? Sneaky beaky like.
I'm too old for you. I can finally say that. I'm too old for you. I wanna say it.
Throwing fire.
Bomb you though.
Grenade out. Incendiary. Throwing fire.
Lower tunnel.
Decoys out.
Ouch! Why you kill me? Meow meow. Upper tunnel.
Counter-terrorists
Meow meow.
gone. Throwing fire. Incendiary out. Fire in the hole.
Good job.
Smoke. Deploying decoy.
Bomb long.
Grenade out. Incendiary out. Terrorists win.
This is what my Scar Age has in front.
Grenade. Decoys out.
OMG, not that. I really like what other people do to their kids. The things that I don't think about myself today. You see them doing it. I never imagined.
Grenade out.
It's pretty awesome. It's part of why I like to play fanboying. Fanboying about other people's builds. Meow meow. Meow meow. It's an awesome build. Putik yan. You know, in theory, because although I wouldn't do it, I can actually like strip the whole receiver of the anodizing and then strip the whole receiver of the anodizing and then have it anodized to my liking. Like strip the whole receiver and then have it anodized. Maybe like that flat dark earth. But maybe not.
Let's go.
Meow meow.
Throwing fire. Throwing grenade. Deploying decoy. Smoke out.
The base upper.
Laying down smoke.
GG. PM style. What's PM? Scar. I want to know what PM means. This looks like mine with a copper looking anodization. Hold on. I wanna play tomorrow, but I don't know. Masira ang ulo. 75% of the place is gonna be precipitating. It's gonna be precipitation. Meow meow. Oh. Meow meow. Meow meow. Chimo chimo. Chino chimo chimo chimo. Chino chimo chimo chimo. Chimo chimo. Chino chimo chimo chimo. Chimo chimo. Chimo chimo. Chimo chimo.
What on? Throwing a grenade. Throwing flashbang.
Hey. Meow meow meow.
Grenade out.
Hello? Hello!
Defusing the bomb.
One library. Is it called library? I forgot the place names na. Cute anime girl voice.
Terrorists win.
Chimo chimo. Chimo chi. Chimo chimo.
Come on, chop chop.
I know your mom. Mamaya mo pa to.
Throwing fire. Throwing smoke. Defend the area out. Throwing grenade.
You know what I like to do? Your mom. Bomb spotted. Bomb site Alpha.
Deploying flashbang.
Last one CD spot.
Counter-terrorists win.
Counter-terrorists win.
Let's make this Reyes rain.
You.
Smoke.
You know who else is in position? Your mom.
Throwing flashbang.
All clear, all clear. Clear to the fuse. Good job, son.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win. There is no stopping us.
Oh! Mochi, mochi, mochi. Chi, chi, chi.
Move it, move it.
Mochi, mochi, mochi.
Grenade out. Throwing smoke. Smoke. Deploying decoy. Roger.
Meow, meow, meow.
Deploying decoy. Fire in the hole.
Boiler, boiler, boiler. No, I died because of the radion. Adrenaline. Fitness.
It's a piece of cake, Suez.
Gaia. Gaia.
Let's go, fellas. Laying down smoke. Grenade out. Incendiary. Throwing a grenade. Decoy. Flashbang. Incendiary out.
Behind you.
Throwing fire. Counter-terrorist win. Nice. Move it, son. Deploying flashbang.
Huh?
Incendiary. Flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Fire in the hole. Throwing fire. Decoys out. Deploying flashbang. That's a negative. Throwing smoke.
City, city.
I'm defusing the bomb.
God damn.
Oh no.
Nice try. There's not.
Watch out. These boys are not bad an arsenal when they
Got
decide using it.
Hee hee. full max.
Throwing smoke. Throwing fire.
MG42. Mommy.
Throwing grenade. Incendiary. Counter-terrorist.
Meow meow.
PC lab is squeezy.
Free AK. I've never used my AK in recent time. Maybe I should use it in Airsoft.
Flashbang.
I've always been using the M4.
Decoy. Incendiary. Grenade out.
Mommy.
Incendiary out.
Banana. Banana. You got him.
Smoke. Counter-terrorists win. There you go.
Meow meow.
Let's do this and get back in time for chow.
I'm upon to get lucky.
Laying down smoke. Throwing fire. Grenade out. Throwing smoke. Deploying decoy. Throwing flashbang. Flashbang. Throwing fire. Counter-terrorists win. That's how we roll.
Meow meow meow. Ew woo.
Let's go, let's go.
Nico ni. Hachama.
Laying down smoke. Grenade out. Incendiary out. Grenade.
I'm so sorry about that.
Grenade out. Throwing fire. Throwing flashbang. Throwing fire.
Meow meow.
Decoys out.
Meow meow. Good job, son. Meow meow.
Smoke. Terrorists win.
Ew.
Staying here.
Meow meow.
Smoke. Decoy.
joining me.
Grenade out. Cover this area. Hold your positions.
Middle. Ito ang middle lang. Under. Naku.
Counter-terrorists win. Clear lines.
Woo!
Grenade out. Laying down smoke. Incendiary. Grenade. Deploying decoy. Fire.
Easy.
Grenade out. Throwing smoke. Hold this position. Hold your positions. Counter-terrorists win. You're the champion. Guys, I tell you, we kill them all.
Meow meow. Meow meow. Get out of the way. Get out of my way. I think I got him.
Grenade out. Throwing fire.
Got one.
I'm planting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win.
Meow meow. Banana o nana? Why are you making noises?
Got this area. Yeah. Move it, move it. Throw it up. I'm throwing a flashback. Decoy. Decoy's out. Grenade out. Activating the bomb. Bomb has been planted. All here. Terrorists win.
Lingkoy, ba't ka nagmumura?
Let's go. Decoy. I'm throwing a grenade. Molotov. I'm throwing smoke. Throwing smoke.
There's one here.
I'm planted.
Nice. Plant the bomb, man.
Grenade.
Eh, Hoot! Asan na yung bomb? Ito pala yung bomb.
Activating the bomb. Grenade out.
Hinarang niya yung sarili niya.
Flashbang. Smoke.
Meow meow.
Oh, fear us. That's what the win.
Bye bye. It's pretty fun. Pretty fun getting to play this game again. Oh.
Let's roll.
Meow meow. Ew. Wow 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 wow. B. Where?
Grenade out.
Bomb drop. Nice.
Fired up. We are Oscar Mike. Laying down smoke. Flashbang. Smoke. Incendiary out. Decoy. Fire in the hole.
Bomb drop.
Deploying flashbang. Counter-terrorist win. We're getting stuck right into
job, guys.
Deploying decoy. Incendiary. Throwing fire.
Playground. Oh! Hala!
On me. Counter-terrorists win. We took the piss out of them.
Meow. I really love the IOMB. I love this thing.
Throwing flashbang. Throwing fire. Throwing a grenade. Smoke. Decoys out. Grenade out. Incendiary.
You know, I keep on getting headshots with the IOMB. I love it.
Throwing flashbang. Counter-terrorists win. All right, all right.
Cool.
Move it, move it.
Meow meow.
Throwing fire. Throwing smoke. Throwing grenade. Incendiary.
Oh no, hola Netro. Es ahora es. Es hora ahora. Why are you apologizing?
Deploying decoy.
Oh, another headshot. I keep getting headshots with this gun.
Flashbang.
Another headshot.
Grenade.
I love the UMP. It's pretty late there, isn't it? Alas. Alas 11. Yo. 1 hour later. So, oh, 12. Oh no. Do not dormir.
Decoy.
And it's pretty. It's. I think it's pretty cool.
Counter-terrorist win. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I'm gonna have a new team leader.
We are out of here. Laying down smoke. Smoke. Throwing a grenade. Incendiary out. Grenade out.
In 12 hours. You know, I actually, yeah. Fun fact. Lingo instead of Domingo. I've been doing, I don't know. I haven't been streaming. Because it's either I'm tired or I stream, yeah.
Let's go, fellas.
I think we're gonna be required to. I'm still gonna be going to work at the same time because I'm gonna be working overtime. It's gonna be the same. I'm gonna be 1 hour early at work.
Bomb has been planted.
Hold on, let me see the. What did I search earlier? Tech support. No, why would you think that? Bro, why would you think that? No, it's not a promotion. You know it.
Decoy.
I don't even wanna be promoted.
Smoke. Fire in the hole. Defend the area out.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. More hours of work. One per two. Oh. I mean, if you don't have any choice. You don't have any choice.
Decoy.
I listen to this guy.
Advance for age 50 plus. Para feeling.
Hi friends, so glad you're here today. On today's lesson of the language tutor, I'm going to give you the numbers in Spanish, okay? After today's lesson,
I've already listened to this and I'm gonna keep on listening.
you're going to be able to count as high as you want to go, as high as you want. So we're going to take the numbers in sections. A lot of people have heard the numbers 1 through 10, so we'll just start with that. You may already know these, you may not, but let's start with those. Let's start with 0. Now on the number 0, all you do is change the Z to a C and you have cero, cero. All right, 1 is uno, uno. 2, push your tongue forward a little bit with the D, dos, dos. 3 is tres, tres. 4 is cuatro, cuatro. Remember that C-U is what's making that qu sound. And then 5 is cinco, cinco. 6, seis, seis. 7, siete, siete. 8, ocho, ocho. 9 is nueve, nueve. And 10, diez, diez. Okay, practice those. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up. Just get in that repetition. But I want to encourage you to do something. Once you have the ability to start with 0 and go all the way to 10, I want to encourage you to stop and go out of order. Because what happens a lot of times is we learn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we learn it as a pattern of sounds. It's almost like learning the lyrics of a song. You hear a new song on the radio, and before you know it, you're singing along, right? And so we're learning things as a pattern of sounds, and we're not actually learning the words or the numbers for what they are. A good example of this is when my daughter was young, I spoke all French to her when she was a toddler, because I wanted her to grow up speaking French. And one day I had her go through the numbers in French, 1 through 10, but then I asked her in French, how do you say 8? And she kind of looked at me puzzled, and then stopped and went, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I realized, oh, she had to go through the song to get to that number. And I said, okay, now we got to step back and learn the numbers for what they are. So you should be able to say 7, 7, 9, 9, 4, 4. So go out of order once you get those down. You're gonna be fine. You'll do great. Now let's take 11 through 15 together because they all end in the same 2 letters, C-E. Okay, so 11 is once. Once. It looks like once, doesn't it? 12, 12. 12. 13, 13. 13. 14, 14. 14. Now 15, we have a QU. We have a QU. What does a QU sound like? And we talked about the rule. QU equals K. So just in your mind, replace that QU with a K. Now say 15. 15. All right, so let's do it one more time. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right. Now, 16 through 19. I want you to think about the word die in English. Die is spelled D-I-E, right? So, a lot of times I'll have my students say die, C-I. Die, C-I. And weird makes no sense, but they learn it that way. So I say, what do you remember? And they say, die, C-I. So that helps them get it. So die, C-I. And so what you're doing here, it comes out as DSC, DSC. So the die, CI helps us spell it, but you pronounce it DSC. Now, what really happens here, if you sort of draw this out, DS is 10, and so E, the letter Y, means and, so you're really saying 10 and. But what happens is we combine them together, and that Z is going to change to a C, the Y turns into an I and has DSC, which comes out sounding like 10. So you're saying 10 and 6, 10 and 7, 10 and 8, 10 and 9. There you go. 16, DSC 6. 17, DSC 7. 18, DSC 8. And 19, DSC 9. Do it one more time, say them after me. DSC 6.
6.
DSC 7.
17.
DSC 8.
18.
19.
19.
All right, and look, we're already at 20.
20.
So easy, you got it.
20.
For 20, I want to start by showing you this English word. They run up and down through our body. Veins, right? Vein. V-E-I-N. Just think about that word V-E-I-N, vein. And all we have to do is put a T-E at the end of it. And now we have, say this after me, veinte. Veinte. All right. And a lot of times I'll have students when they're learning, spell that V-I-E. And I'll say, wait a minute, wouldn't that be viente? And they, yeah, that's right. Remember to spell it E-I to get that A sound, veinte. All right, so that's 20. All we have to do is this. When we go to 21 through 29, see that last E right there? All we got to do is go and change that to an I. And now we have the root for 21 through 29. 21. You're just saying 20 and 1. 22.
23.
23. 24. 25. 26.
26. 30.
27.
30.
28. 29. And we're already to 30. Now, at 30, something magical happens. We follow a pattern. It's really easy. All we have to do now is learn the tens. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. And we're going to be able to count all the way up to 99. And with one other word, we're going to be able to go to 199. Okay? So let's get those tens down. 30 also has an EI. 30. 30. 40. Got that qua sound again with a C. 40. 40. 50. Take that little root from 5 and you got it. 50. 50.
60, 70,
60. 60. 60.
80, 90,
70. 70. 70. 80. 80. 80. 90. 90. 90. All right, that brings us all the way up to 99 if we can start to put those in-between numbers together. And guess what? We're going to do it the same way as we do in English. We just have one little thing to remember. If we want to say the numbers between 30 and 40, and between 40 and 50, etc., all we have to do is remember the word and, the letter Y. And it's pronounced in context. We don't say Y, because that's really just the name of the letter, right? We just say E. It sounds like the letter I almost. Okay, so if we're going to say, let's put 34 up there. 34. All we're going to do is do the same thing we do in English. We take the word for 30, take the word for 4, but we're just going to put the letter Y in there because it's 30 and 4. So we have this. 34. That's all you got to remember. So we don't say 34, we say 30 and 4. We don't say 56, we say 50 and 6, like this. 56. Let's try 75. Just think about 75 for a second. Okay, 70 and 5. 75. Now let's try 2 more, just get in a little practice, all right? 88. Okay, 80 and 8. 88. And let's do 94. 90 and 4. 94. There you go. And that takes us all the way up to 99. See how fast you're learning to count? Great. Let's get the hundreds numbers now. 100 by itself is 100. 100. That's if you were just going to say the number 100. 100. But if I'm going to say 101 or 130, 100 and anything else, I'm going to use ciento. Ciento. Okay? So let's try 120. We just simply say 120. 120. Now what if we were going to say 199? 199. That 90, remember where the 90 goes? Sometimes students get confused where, okay, wait, where did the and go? Just do the same we did with the tens numbers a while ago. 90 and 9. So 190 and 9. 199. Okay. The word and is always going to go in between the ones and the tens number, or the 1,000 and the 10,000, or the 1 million and the 10 million. It goes in between those each time. All right, 200 is very easy, friends, because we just simply take the word 2 and we put the word ciento, 100 on it, but it's plural. See, in Spanish,
I think there's commotion outside. I think there's commotion outside. So I'm gonna stop the lesson. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back now.
They're thinking 200s, 300,
Doscientos.
unlike our Germanic 100, 200. Okay, so
Doscientos.
200, 200. 300, 300. And I bet you can guess what 400 is already.
400.
400. I'm going to skip 5 for a second. 600, 600. Now go to 800. 800. Okay, now why did I skip 5 and 7 and I didn't go to 9? Because they're troublemakers. They're not going to follow the rule, okay? We always got rule breakers in languages. So 500 is actually going to go back to its Latin root, quinque, QU. It's going to go back to that Latin root. So it's going to bring in that QUI. Here it is. 500. 500. All right, so just look at the spelling. A lot of people look at that word and find it intimidating to spell. It's not. It's not that bad. Come to 7. Now for 700, the only thing we have to do is remember that we're just going to pull that I out, okay? Just like we did with 70. We didn't put an I in 70 either. So it's 700. 700. And that brings us to 900. Just like 90, it also is going to use its Latin root, noven, to say 900. So it's 900. 900. Okay, now let's think about it. We get those U. It's going to go back. Guess what 400 is already? 400. I'm going to skip 5 for a second. 600. 600. Now go to 800. 800. Okay, now why did I skip 5 and 7 and I didn't go to 9? Because they're troublemakers. They're not going to follow the rule, okay? We always got rule breakers in languages. So 500 is actually going to go back to its Latin root, quinque, QU. It's going to go back to that Latin root. So it's going to bring in that QUI. Here it is. 500. 500. All right, so just look at the spelling. A lot of people look at that word and find it intimidating to spell. It's not. 500. It's not that bad. Come to 7. Now for 700, the only thing we have to do is remember that we're just going to pull that I out, okay? Just like we did with 70. We didn't put an I in 70 either. So it's 700. 700. And that brings us to 900. Just like 90, it also is going to use its Latin root, noven, to say 900. So it's 900. 900. Okay, now let's think about it. We get those down, we can count pretty high right now, okay? Now the word for million is millón, millón, and that really takes us probably about as far as we'd want to sit and count in one sitting, okay? But I do want to tell you one thing about dates. If you're saying the date as in the year, you actually say it like you would in number form. So I was married in 1993, so you would say 1,993 like this. 1993. Okay? I was born in 71. 1971. 1971. Okay, so now all you got to do is just put those numbers together and you got it. Friends, be working on those numbers. And again, in a different lesson, we're going to put the numbers with the dates and the months, and we're going to learn how to write dates, okay? I'll see you next time on The Language Tutor. Friends, thanks for watching The Language Tutor. If you have a question for me, feel free to leave it in the comment section below the video. And please click subscribe and the notification bell so that you'll never miss any of our language lessons.
You know, I cannot I cannot memorize that in one sitting. 579. Quinientos. Instead of 700, it's 700. 900. Why are you redacting? Why are you redacting messages? 900.
Yeah.
Meow meow.
一大针有一个。
1 million. 1,983,000. Oh, why are you counting like that? Why are you counting to a million? My bank account. Meow meow. Good job, meow meow.
Binugbog ng
Ingriengo. Why?
Today I'm going to teach you something that's going to allow you to lay a really good phonetic foundation. Okay guys, so today what I want to do is I want to just go through the alphabet with you. And I want to start by the vowel sounds. Here's the thing, in Spanish, 90% of pronunciation and reading is knowing your vowels. And the great part is, in English, we have, an A sounds like ah, sometimes it sounds like ah, sometimes it sounds like a, sometimes. We don't have that issue in Spanish. An A has one sound, an E has one sound. Every vowel has one sound. So I want to start with you really quick and just talk about those vowel sounds. So the letter A right here, the letter A is always going to sound like ah. It's always going to be ah. If you ever hear anybody say something with the ah sound, you know that is the letter A. It'll never be different. Now look at this. This is letter E. It's pronounced eh. Eh. It's like EH almost in Spanish. Eh. And the letter I, this is a little confusing sometimes because the letter I actually sounds like E. E. Okay, so anytime you hear the sound E, it's an I. I do want to go ahead and tell you that a Y, we'll talk about what a Y is called in Spanish in just a minute, but in context, if you're reading, you see the letter Y, it's pronounced E also, and it means and. But other than that, pretty much an E sound is going to be an I. And don't confuse E and the letter E, because remember, E sounds like eh, okay? So far, A sounds like ah, E sounds like eh, and I sounds like E. Now we come to the letter O, and I have to tell you something really important about the letter O, because this is where we can sound like non-native speakers, okay? When you're saying the letter O in English, we do just what I just did. We say O, and we pull our lips together. We do that rounding. And so sometimes we'll say, hey, what are we having for dinner? Tacos. And we pull those lips in. That makes us not sound like a Spanish speaker when we're speaking Spanish. So what we want to do is hold our mouth straight and not move our lips and just simply say, oh. Try it. Just say, oh. Okay, and that's it. Same thing for you. When we say you, we want to pull those lips in. Don't do it. Just say, ooh. All right, so really quick, I want to throw the vowels up one by one, and you just say it out loud what you think the vowel sounds like. So here comes the A. It's ah. You got it. Now the E.
Throwing fire. Smoke.
Eh. And now the I, remember, it's different. Okay, it's E. Okay, good. And we're not going to confuse the E and the E, the letter E. All right, now the O.
Oh.
Oh, right. And then the U is
Ooh.
ooh. All right, great. Now let's go through the whole Spanish alphabet. And I'm going to tell you, these are the names of the letters. Okay, so just remember, sometimes we don't apply our rules and our way of thinking to other languages, but I want to just bring something to mind. When we're talking about the alphabet now, I'm telling you what those letters are called, okay? I'm telling you the names of the actual letters. So if you're going to spell something, this would be what you said. But again, in context, we just use the letters as they're used. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. You know, if we spell the word baby in English, we spell it B-A-B-Y. Okay, those are the names of the letters, B-A-B-Y. But in context, I don't say, oh, that's a really cute B-A-B-Y, right? We actually use the letters as they're used, baby. Same thing. So what I'm telling you today in the alphabet is the names are the names of the letters. Okay, here we go. So we've already learned the A, which is ah. Now, a lot of the consonants, go ahead and get this eh sound in your mind, the eh sound, because a lot of those consonants are going to use that sound. Watch what I'm talking about. Here we go. The B is called be. Be. And the C is called se. Se. And the D is called, you're probably guessing it already, de. De. Now, I want to go ahead and tell you, push that tongue forward a little bit. De. De. Okay, we don't want to put our tongue back here on that ridge right behind our teeth that goes up, because that's where we make the English D. And that will make us sound like a person trying to speak Spanish. So push your tongue forward a little bit and say de. Okay? And then the E, we already learned, is e. And the F is F. F. Now, the G is going to be a little different in Spanish. We'll use it.
Damn. All right. Sleep well. Hasta luego. Buenas noches.
A lot the same as we do in English in context, but the G is actually, I always tell my students, how do you remember what the letter G is called? Because you always say this to them. You always say, hey. All right, so the G is he. And now, the letter H. First of all, I want to tell you the letter H is silent. You ever see a word with H in it? Don't say the H. There's no breath sound or anything. It's just silent. So you just kind of ignore it. But it is part of spelling. So you want to be a good speller. Make sure it's there if you're writing it. But don't say it. The letter H, I like to tell my students to sneeze it. It's H. H. Okay? Now let's go to the I. Is E. And the J is breathed like our English H. The letter is called jota. K is called ka. We don't use a lot of K's in Spanish, but it is part of the alphabet. Now we get to the H-I-J-K-L. We get to the L. It is L. L. But now we've got a double L in Spanish. The double L sounds like ya in a sentence. So this word right here, L-L-A-M-A-S, is pronounced llamas. Llamas.
Name.
As in, what's your name? ¿Cómo te llamas? Okay, so that double L sounds like that. So the single L is called L. The double L is called ella. All right, let's move on to the M. Is called, you're probably guessing it already. Eme. Eme. The N is called ene. Ene. And again, I want to push your tongue forward a little bit because, you know, that our English N is back a little bit.
What makes it taste so good?
Tasty ingredients without added colors or.
And so you push your tongue forward a little bit and say N. Now you have the N, this N, and it's got a little squiggly snake over the top of it. Now, first of all, I want to tell you that line is called the tilde. Tilde. That's what that little snakey's called over it. But when you have that over the end, it changes it from ene to enye. All right, let's look at a word with that letter in it. Here's one, tomorrow, like I'll see you tomorrow. Mañana. You say mañana. That's the difference between the single N and the N with the tilde, the enye. All right, that brings us to the O, which we've already learned is O. Now let's talk about the P really quick. The P is simply called pe. But what I want you to do, friends, is this. I want you to put your hand in front of your mouth really quick and say the English word puff. Puff. Now when you say the word puff, you're gonna feel a puff of air on your hand. And that's because when we do the English air, it has that breath sound to it. So in Spanish, what you want to do is try to take that air away. So put your lips together and go ahead and try it with me. You put your lips together like you're going to say the letter P, but then just use it as a starting point and just say, pe, pe. Try to take that air out. And once you start feeling a significantly less amount of air, you're getting really close. You're going to sound like a native speaker. Now let's talk about the Q. The letter Q is called Q. And then we get to the R. Let's talk about the R really quick. The single R, like it is in English, does not exist in Spanish. Actually, no R in English sound, that sound does not exist in Spanish. So the single R right here, we call this a flap. And what I want you to do is take your tongue and put it right behind your teeth there, and then move your tongue back until you feel that ridge going up, okay? And then that is where you want your tongue to be when you say the Spanish R. And you're gonna push air through and just flap your tongue. You're gonna just kind of flap it against that part of your mouth. And that's why we call it a flap. Now, a lot of my students come and they say, I can't really do that Spanish R. And I say, yes, you can, because you do it all the time. I'm gonna give you an example right now. I want you to say this word in English, and I want you to pay attention to where your tongue is. Say the word butter. Butter.
Butter.
Just try it a couple times. Butter. Where's your tongue? Exactly where I just told you a minute ago, right? You're doing the Spanish R right there. You didn't even realize it. That's the Spanish R. All right, so let's put a word on the screen here. P-E-R-O. This is the conjunction but. I want to go, but I can't. Okay, so B-U-T in Spanish. Let's say it together. Now, first of all, what are we going to do with that P? We're going to take the air out of it, right? So, take the air out. Use the E sound. Remember, all E's sound like eh. All O's sound like o. We're not going to round our lips. And we're just simply going to say this. Now, try it all together. Pero. Pero. Pero.
Pero.
There you go. Take the air out, flap your R, and you're sounding like a native speaker. Very good. Now let's talk about the double R. The double R is going to be what we call a trill, which is you're going to trill it like that with your tongue. So P-E-R-R-O. Now this word, we add an R, it means dog. Let's try this one. Take the air out, do your vowel sounds, trill it, and say this. Perro, perro, perro. There you go. I bet you're sounding just like a native speaker already. All right, let's move on. We've talked about the R's. Now let's get those last few letters. The S, you can probably already guess. Ese. It's got those same S sound. Ese. The T, I want you to take your tongue and put it forward a little bit. And again, take the air out of it, okay? Te. Te. Now the U is U. We learned that already. Now the V and the W, I want to tell you about those. It depends on what country you're in, really. Some people learn for the V, they'll say ve, and some people learn uve. It really depends on where you are. So it's best to know that you can either say this, ve, or uve. And when you get to another country, you'll pick up on which one. Okay. The W also has two ways to say it. There's doble U and doble V. Doble, I bet you can guess, means double. So W, like kind of saying the double V, or W, double U. All right, now the X is simply called X. The Y is called Y, Y. And that literally means the I Greek. That's what you're saying. All right. And then finally, we're at the end, Z is Zeta. All right. So I want you to practice that alphabet. Just keep going over it and just keep practicing and saying those letters while you're driving in your car or whatever you're doing. Watching TV, practice that alphabet. Friends, thanks for watching the Language Tutor. If you have a question for me, feel free to leave it in the comment section below the video. And please click subscribe and the notification bell so that you'll never miss any of our language lessons.
I have 12 emails, 30 messages, and a proposal due by 10. How am I already underwater?
I'm in the same boat.
I'm in an actual boat.
I thought Grammarly just fixed grammar. They make boats now?
It's more of a metaphorical boat. Because I've been using Grammarly's AI for years to keep me high and dry. Try it. Grammarly can look through your writing and make it easier to understand. See? Shorter. Clearer.
Cool.
And better. Now people will get what you're trying to say, and you won't be flooded with confused emails. Can you do mine? No problem. Your writing's good, but your word choices could be better.
Wow.
Now your writing is as confident as you are.
If that's even possible.
Yep. New email.
Oh, well, what about our proposal?
Let me take a look. Woof. You'll be in deep water if you show this to the CEO. Grammarly can point out what's missing. Right there. The CEO will want to see a deadline. And here you should connect the projections back to company strategy.
Yeah, how could I do that? Mia, can you do a deep dive?
On it. 10% higher revenue by next year.
I'm sending it in.
The CEO loves it. Budget and headcounts are approved.
Let's get everyone on board. I meant figuratively.
Download Grammarly for free.
Pambata lang daw ang gatas. Ang feeling bata din, inom na ng Bear Brand Adult Plus.
Ella.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Español. Hola. Buenos días. Doble L, ñ, doble R. Pronoun chart. Spanish toolbox. ¿Qué hora es? Hora de aprender español.
Time to learn.
Aprender español. Aprender español. Aprender español. Aprender español.
Hola y bienvenidos a ¿Qué hora es? Hi friends and welcome to ¿Qué hora es? The show that teaches you Español. My name is Dr. Danny Evans and I'm going to be your profesor de español. Now, I am really excited, friends, about the show because I get the privilege of opening up to you a brand new world of culture and language. Spanish is spoken by hundreds of millions of people all over the world every day. And so, by learning the language, you'll find that it benefits you in many different ways. Now, before we get started, I want to tell you up front, it's going to be pretty much impossible for me to teach you every word in Spanish during our show time together. So, I encourage you to go out and early on get a Spanish dictionary or find a good online website with a good word bank on it so that you can supplement what you learn on the show. And most of all, when you learn something on ¿Qué hora es?, get out there and practice it because that's the best way to solidify and internalize what you've learned. And you'll be surprised at how fast you become conversant if you just practice. So, if you're ready, go ahead and get a pluma, a pen, or a lápiz, pencil, and a cuaderno, a notebook, and let's get started. Let's go to the classroom. Okay, now that you have your cuaderno and your pluma or lápiz, we're ready to start learning some Spanish. Now to start off, it's best that we understand the sounds of Spanish. Spanish is not like English. With English, we have a lot of difficulty sometimes because the A can have 3 or 4 different sounds, The E and the I can have different sounds. The O and the U can have different sounds. But in Spanish, we don't have that problem. Our vowels only have one sound each. So that makes it very easy to pronounce Spanish, to read it, and to write it. And also when you hear Spanish, you know exactly what letters are being said and used. So, to get started, let's take a look at the alphabet. Now I'll go through the alphabet and try to pronounce it after me. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, E, M, N, N, O, P, Q, R, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Okay, now you probably noticed, looking at the alphabet, that there are a few extra letters in Spanish. We add a few letters to make different sounds in Spanish that we don't do in English. Let's start out with the beginning one. Now first, look at G. G is not the normal J or G sound. It has different sounds to it. Sometimes we pronounce the G with a breathing sound, like when a G is before an E, for example, or before an I in Spanish. We're going to pronounce it almost like the H in Spanish. One example of this might be the word geography in Spanish. Notice that the G is in front of an E, so therefore we would say it like breathe H. So this word would be geografía. Try to say it, geografía. Okay, now going on through the rest of the alphabet, also you'll notice that the H, it was pronounced pretty different than English. It's pronounced H. Now, one thing you need to know about the H in Spanish, the H is silent. It's there in writing, but you will never say H in Spanish. So for the example, the word was used to say hello to somebody.
Ngilo? Sapat ba toothpaste mo? Ngilo pa rin? Sapat ba talaga toothpaste mo? Di sapat ang regular toothpaste sa ngilo. Gumamit ng Sensodyne, ang dentist recommended toothpaste para sa ngilo. May 99 na Sensodyne.
Introducing the all-new Jollibee app. Mas madali nang mag-order ng Jollibee favorites mo. Anytime, anywhere. Download now.
We would simply say hola. We don't pronounce the H whatsoever. So we just simply say hola. Try it. Okay, now moving through the rest of the alphabet, move down to the J. Now the J in Spanish does not at all have the same sound as it does in English. The J in Spanish is like the H in English. So we're going to breathe that word with the sound. Okay, so you've probably seen words like this or names using the J. For example, the name Jose. We're going to breathe that J like an H in English. Okay, so let's move on. The L in Spanish has the same sound as it does in English, but the double L is actually different. Many times in Spanish you will see L's by themselves, but you also see double L's. Anytime we have a double L in Spanish, we're going to treat it like a Y. Here's an example. This is a very popular last name in Spanish. It also gives you one more look at the J. We're going to treat the double L like a Y, so it's going to have a Y sound. So this name would be Jaramillo. Jaramillo. So treat the double L like a Y. Now moving on forward, the N sound. Look at the N. Now there's an N, and there's an N with what we call a tilde on it. It's a little curvy accent on the top. That's the only letter in Spanish that has that kind of accent on it. Okay, so if we use the normal N, it's going to have the same sound as it does in English, like when you tell someone no. But what you want to do is push that tongue forward just a little bit more than we do in English. Instead of no, you want to say no.
That's helping you sound more like a native speaker in Spanish. Push your tongue forward and try it one time and say no. Now, when you have an end in Spanish with tilde over it, I'll write an example right here when we say the word tomorrow. And we put the tilde over the N. This N will remain just like an English N, and this one becomes a nya sound. So try to say this. Mañana. Mañana. Okay. Now, we're almost finished with looking at the alphabet. As we go through, the only one we really have to look at now is the R. Now, the R is a little bit tricky because we don't do this in English. The R never sounds like the English R. It's never going to sound like or r. So push that out of your mind. It's not there in Spanish. I know. Okay, so it's going to be a little tough, but you can do it. Now, I'm going to write two different words over here in Spanish. One's going to have the single R, and the other's going to have the double R. Notice the difference. It completely changes the meaning of the word. Now, this word means expensive, and this word means car. One R makes a completely different word, and it means a completely different thing. Now, to make the R sound in Spanish, this is called a flap. What you want to do is move your tongue back right there behind your teeth where the ridge of your mouth starts to go up. And what you want to do is lightly flap against the top of your mouth with a sound. So it kind of sounds like this. Caro. Caro. Try to say it once. All right, if you're thinking right now, I can't do that with my R's, it's okay. I hear that all the time with my students, but you can do it. It takes some practice, but keep working on it. Try to say caro. Now, when you look at the double R, this makes more of that Spanish sound that you've probably heard, the trill sound. So it's going to be kind of a r sound. So this is going to be carro. Try to say carro. All right, now let's compare the two. This is carro, and this is carro. Try it again. Carro, carro. Okay, now we've covered the basics of the alphabet. Now I want to get to what I call our toolbox. I tell my students often that the vowels in Spanish are your toolbox. If you have those tools, you can pronounce anything in Spanish. Now my goal for you as a viewer is to, at the end of our episodes, I want you to have the tools that you need to keep going as far as you want in Spanish. Have the knowledge and the tools to keep going, learning at your own pace and learning as much as you want. And this right here, what I'm about to show you, is what I call your toolbox. The toolbox is the vowels.
Where is the milk in Kinder Joy from?
From selected suppliers. 100% of Kinder milk can be traced back to each dairy because we care to source it responsibly. A little treat, a lot of care. Find out more at kinder.com.
Okay, let's look at our vowels. Again, just like English, there are only 5 of them, but they're much easier. All right, first of all, we have the A, just like English. We have the E, the I, the O, and the U. Now, the easy part, as I've said, is that in English, there are 3 or 4 sounds, but in Spanish, these only have 1 sound each. So it makes it very easy to use. So let's look at the A right here. The A is always going to have that ah sound to it. It's always going to sound like ah. So anytime you see an A, you know it's going to be pronounced ah. Okay. Also, look at it from the other side. If you ever hear the sound ah, you know exactly what letter it is. And if you were going to spell it, you would know exactly what letter to use. Let's look at the E. In English, this can sound like E, can sound like E, can sound like the schwa, but in Spanish, it always sounds like E. So far we have A and E. And again, the good part, the E always sounds like E. If you ever hear that sound, you know it's going to be the letter E. Don't get confused like some people do and hear the E sound and think, oh, that's the letter E. It's easy to do that because we're English speakers, right? But just try to remember that E always sounds like E. But now we get to the E sound. The I makes the E sound. So it's always going to sound like E. So if you ever hear E, don't be tricked and think that's the letter E. It's not, it's the letter I. Okay? Now, we get into the letter O and U. And these can be kind of fun sometimes because as American English speakers, sometimes we like to do what I call rounding, and we pull our lips in. And we like to say things like taco and pull our lips in together. And that kind of makes us sound like Americans, doesn't it, trying to speak Spanish. But what you want to do with the Spanish O is leave your mouth straight, don't pull those lips in, and just say O. Right, say O. Okay, now don't pull those lips in, because that's kind of what makes you sound like an American, right? All right, now the U, same thing. We're not going to pull our lips in. We're going to leave our lips straight and say ooh. Now, let's look at all of these together. First of all, the A sounds like ah, the E sounds like eh, the I sounds like E, the O sounds like o, and the U sounds like oo. Now, try to go through the list on your own without me saying it. Ready? Try it. Okay, now, it won't take you very long to learn those 5 sounds. As I've said, they all only have one sound. So what I encourage you to do is really, really practice those 5 sounds so that you can remember them and say them without even having to think about it too much. Because what you're going to find is that if you learn these 5 sounds and also those little different letters that we did in the alphabet a while ago, you're going to find that now you can pronounce correctly anything in Spanish. I know it's hard to believe, but think about it. If you just use the tools in your toolbox, you can do it. Let's try a couple of words. I'm going to write a word that's nice and popular in Spain, and this word means pin.
Pluma.
This word looks big, and a lot of times we think, I don't know how to say that, but you can if you just use your toolbox. First of all, the B is going to be pretty much the same as in English. Now think to yourself, what does an O sound like in Spanish? Okay? So take just this syllable right here, B-O, and put it together. And what do you get? Right, bowl. Now, look at this next part. You have an L and you have an I. Just simply ask yourself, what does an L sound like? It's the same as we talked about a while ago. It's the same in English as it is in Spanish. And now look at the I sound. The I always sounds like E. So now put these 2 syllables together. So what do we have now? Bo, li. Now, the G is going to be pretty much like it is in English right now. And we've got that R flap. This is going to be tricky for some of you, I know, because it takes a while to get it down. It's okay, though. Don't worry about it. So you're going to have that sound, that flap sound. Now, what does an A sound like? One sound. It's an ah. So put all that together, and what do you get? Gra. So let's start from the beginning. Bo, li, gra. Now take the last syllable. F. It's the same thing in Spanish as it is in English. What does an O sound like? O. So put them together. Full. So now you're ready to do the whole word. Bo, li, gra, full. Now, before we go any further, I need to tell you about accents. These little lines are going to show up in Spanish sometimes. They're only over vowels. They're not going to be over all vowels. They're going to be over vowels sometimes. And before the show's over, I'll try to get you some rules on when those accents show up. But for now, just know that when you see one of those accents, it's there to tell you I'm special, and you got to say me a little bit stronger. Okay? So we're going to say that syllable a little stronger than the other ones. I like to tell my students to step on it a little bit. So we're going to say bolígrafo. Bolígrafo. Okay, try it. That's right, bolígrafo. Stress that I because it's got the accent above it. That's all you got to do with accents. If you see one, just say it a little bit stronger. Okay, so now that we have our tools down, we have our alphabet, our letters that are different, and we have our vowel sounds down, you can read and pronounce correctly anything in Spanish. Try it. I encourage you to go on the internet, go to the library, get a book in Spanish, and just go through it and try to pronounce the words. because what you'll find is that it may be a little bit tricky at first, but you're going to find that very quickly you'll be an expert at it. And you'll be reading anything in Spanish. You just use your toolbox. Okay, so with that being said, now I want you to try some basic greetings. We're going to put some basic greetings up now. These are just general phrases that you would use on the street if you were greeting someone in Spanish or meeting a friend. And hopefully someday you'll be in a Spanish-speaking country actually trying these out. So we're going to put some basic greetings up on the screen, and we're going to start going through them. And I want you to try to learn them and get ready, because I bet you can find somebody you know that speaks Spanish. Get practiced up, because I want you to try to speak to them next time you see them.
Do you know what I'd like to hear more among the modern wave of solo artists?
Meow meow, thank you.
Bands that do what bands do. No, not that. Bands that sound like a
Okay guys, thank you so much for coming. I'm gonna go now, okay? Bye bye. Bye bye YouTube. Thank you. Bye bye.